rules. The color coding we've implemented for this practice is shown here. You can stop the video and just go through them. And at the bottom left it shows you the symbol we're going to use for the end of the sentence. Practice 1. So we have Hamza-Tul-Qat, i.e. just a quick reminder, that's when Hamza itself has its own sound.
A, I, U.
Then we have Hamza-Tul Wasl, and remember that doesn't actually have its own sound, except for when it will be pronounced as if it's got a fatha, and we'll cover that in the practices. So practice 2, we'll do a few examples of Hamza-Tul-Qat.
Ilahi, A'udhu, Idha, Ahad, Aghna, Atuhu.
Practice 3, again Hamza-Tul-Qat.
Abi, Innahu, Wara'ayta, Afwaja, Antum, A'bud.
The next set of practices are going to be where we're using nouns, and from our lessons, if you remember, a lot of the nouns that begin with the definite article al, which is the Hamza-Tul Wasl followed by the lam, are divided into sun letters and moon letters. Remember, the moon letters do not carry the shadda, whereas the sun letters do. So we'll go through these two. So the first example with one of the moon letters is
Min al-jinnati,
and an example of one with a sun letter,
Sudurin nas.
So now we'll do a practice with some words with the sun and moon letters.
Wan nas, Sharril waswasi, Malikin nas, Birabbin nas.
Practice 6 again is some more sun and moon letters.
Sharrin naffathati, Fil uqad, Birabbil falaq, Bismillahi.
Practice 7 is nouns at the start of a sentence, i.e. they begin with the definite article al, i.e. the Hamza-Tul Wasl and the lam, but there is no preceding sound, and again this is with the sun and moon letters.
Alhamdu, Ar-Rahman.
So note that the Hamza-Tul Wasl is read as if it has a fatha on it, making the sound of al or a joining with the letter with the shadda, which effectively is the al, the definite article the. So now we'll practice a few words or nouns at the start of sentences.
Ar-Rahim, Al-Muflihun, As-Sirat, Al-Mustaqim, Al-Kitab, As-Salata.
Practice 9.
Al-Jinnati, An-Nas, Al-Falaq, Al-Waswasi, Al-Khannas, An-Naffathati.
Now a quick reminder of imperative verbs. So these are one of the more tricky ones to go through, and the basic rule again is if you have an imperative verb which begins with the Hamza-Tul Wasl, the next letter will be sakin, and you look at whatever the sound is on the next letter. So if it has a kasra or a fatha, then the Hamza-Tul Wasl is read as if it has a kasra. If the letter after the letter which is sakin has a dhamma, then the Hamza-Tul Wasl is also read as if it's a dhamma. So these three examples are
اهدنا اذكروا اقرأ.
So that was just a brief reminder. You may have to go back to the lesson on Hamza-Tul Wasl and Hamza-Tul-Qat to go in a bit more detail about that rule. So here's some examples of imperative verbs, but these are actually being joined to previous sounds.
واسجد وصفه.
Now we're going to do some mixed examples of all of the things we've just practiced.
من الجنة والناس شر الوسواس الجنة الناس الوسواس.
Practice 13.
وامرأته واستغفر حمالة الحطب.
Practice 14.
يا أيها الكافرون أعطيناك الكوثر. الكافرون الكوثر.
Practice 15.
ويمنعون الماعون فذلك الذي الماعون الذي.
Conclusion. We have practiced Hamza-Tul Wasl and Hamza-Tul-Qat in different words, and we have also practiced reading some words at the end of sentences.